Okay, guys, this is not going to be a conversation for children, so please get those sweet little darlings out of the room. This is Sgt Elder Fernandez. Sgt Elder Fernandez went missing August the 17th. This young man had been hospitalized. This young man had also reported that he was being sexually assaulted in the U.S. military, in the Army, on the Fort Hood Army base. He was being sexually assaulted. Okay, let's talk about some facts. Facts number one, this man, this Sergeant Elder Fernandez, was hospitalized. And he told his mother that when he returned home from the hospital, that he would call her that Monday. She never got that phone call. And I don't believe this young man ever returned home, even though some soldiers said they saw him at home. In order for us to believe those soldiers, we have to believe that the soldiers on Fort Hood Army Base have honor and integrity, and there is no honor and integrity at Fort Hood Army Base. Those soldiers are simply covering up for the staff sergeant who picked this young man up for the hospital. They are his alibi. I don't believe this young man ever made it back to that Fort Hood Army Base. I don't. His vehicle was found on the Fort Hood Army Base, and his body was found 29 miles from that Fort Hood Army Base hanging in a tree. And if he was going to hang himself and go 29 miles away, why not drive? Why not drive yourself to where you have decided to end your life? I don't believe Sgt Elder Fernandez ever made it back to that Fort Hood Army Base. Fact number one, he never called his mother. That's a fact. Fact number two, his vehicle was found on that Army base. Fact number three, he had reported being sexually assaulted in the United States Army. He had reported that. He probably felt that with everything that was going on with Vanessa Guillen, that now was a good time for him to come out with his own sexual assault. But his staff sergeant picked him up from that hospital, and I don't believe this young man ever got back to that Army base. I believe that he was murdered in that vehicle that his staff sergeant picked him up in. A lot of sex can go on in a vehicle, especially unwanted sex. This young man reported that, and he was supposed to be transferred to another unit to get away from that staff sergeant. These are just the facts. These are just the facts. Fort Hood Army Base is a cesspool, and it needs to be closed down. And that CID needs to be fired with a dishonorable discharge. They need to do an autopsy on this man. They need to swab his mouth and his rectum and his genitals and check him to see if he has any signs of sexual assault after being picked up from that hospital. Because the person who picked him up was his staff sergeant, and he could also have been the person who murdered him. Rest in peace, Elder Fernandez, Sergeant Elder Fernandez.